Yo! Hey everybody! Mike Norman here. Jeffrey Gundlach! He's back! Criticizing MMT, he says it's ridiculous and highly illogical, and he calls it pretzel logic on steroids. Yeah, he says that MMT states you can have infinite amounts of money if you borrow in your own currency. First of all, think about that. If he had any brains, then he would have seen the inconsistency in his own logic, if you can even use the word logic, the inconsistency in his own argument. Because if you have your own currency, why do you need to borrow it? So that's stupid comment number one from Jeffrey. Then he goes on to say that MMT says that it's fine to have tons of debt. There's that debt thing going on again, if the interest rate is below the growth rate of the economy. Well, first of all, MMT never said that, never said anything like that. And it also says that the idea, he says the idea that the government can borrow infinite amounts of money because GDP has been growing, he says that's meaningless. Because what happens if GDP goes negative? All right, this is his brilliant observation. Like, what happens if you have negative economic growth? He says you don't know what the future is going to look like. You might not have the economic growth, but there it is again. That same wrong understanding. Because if the economy goes negative, so what? The reality is that a currency issuer is not constrained in its ability to make payments in its own money. That's the whole main understanding of MMT. So if it has to make payments in its own money, it can make payments in its own money regardless of what is happening in the economy, even if that means it has to make interest payments. That's exactly what MMT states. He must think like the government, if the economy's not growing, if the U.S. economy is not growing, then dollars disappear. Then the government has no more dollars. It's ridiculous. This guy is an idiot. He's a total idiot, and every time he opens up his mouth, seriously, something dumber comes out of it. I don't know who gives this guy money, or there's guys like him too, like Paul Tudor Jones and these other idiots. I don't know who gives them money, but to me, at least this guy, Gundlach, he looks like the next Bill Gross in the making. And you know what happened to Bill Gross. That didn't end well. He had all the wrong understanding. The so-called bond king, and Gundlach has inherited that title from Gross. By the way, you know what his recent brilliant wisdom on the economy was? That, hey, there's going to be a recession one day. So you better sell now. Come on. That is useless information. It's like saying, the sun is not going to rise in the east one day. Yeah, one day the sun won't exist anymore. Or it won't exist in the form it is right now, and it's not going to rise. But that's useless information. This guy is a dummy. I'm sorry, but Jeffrey, you are a clown. You got to watch out for these guys, folks. They are out there, and because they're famous or whatever, or because they're managing a lot of money, people think they're smart. They're not smart. They don't know what they're talking about. And frankly, all these critics of MMT, basically it just boils down to name calling on their part, like pretzel logic. Like, what the hell is he talking about? Talking about pretzels. I think his brain is twisted into one. Anyway, that's what I have to say on Jeffrey Gundlach today. See you tomorrow, folks. Bye-bye.